Okay, May 12th, 2025, weekend review, starting with the dart throw. Someone in my comments said, always spin right, just spin left this time and see if that helps. So I'm spinning left. And I am using Kentucky windage. And I still miss left. I gotta work on that. I gotta practice. All right, so individual semifinals are nearing completion in terms of penalties being assessed, etc. So soon we'll know the 11 athletes, men and women, who qualified for the games via that route. Obviously, if you don't make it from there this season with the format, there's plenty of other opportunities, other in-person events to qualify through. So even when I looked at the French Throwdown, the athlete who won there, he had actually won another event too. So he chose to compete in multiple events. So a lot of opportunity for these athletes to compete and or qualify via different routes if they so choose. Also, this past weekend, I went on the Sevon podcast, did about an hour. It was fun. If you're interested in, we talked about a wide variety of things. If you're interested in hearing that, go check out his page. And had a good time chatting with him. I try to go on his show about once every 5 to 6 weeks. So timing felt right and decided to go on. Community Cup registration opens up today, so soon. Probably by the time this video is live, Community Cup registration will be open. So if you did the Open, if you want to compete in the Community Cup, the first ever, be the first athletes to compete in the Community Cup, log in today or sign up today and throw down in June, in a month. So really excited about the Community Cup. Got some cool workouts, community sourced, and scaled via level. So there's the 5 categories: pro, advanced, intermediate, novice, and rookie. And you get to compete amongst those cohorts. So pretty cool. I'm excited about it. I think it'll be a lot of fun. At Phil Evans 6235. Hi Dave, we are noticing that some athletes are having to choose between qualifying competitions and the WFP due to the demands on their bodies. To prevent a divergence in the sport in the future and ensure that the net is cast as wide as possible, would you consider providing a small number of invitations to the top WFP finishers for the next available games? It'd be great to see congruent activities like the games, WFP, and High Rocks working together. Rising tides lift all. That's an interesting idea. It's something that we should explore. They've pretty much expressed no interest in communicating with us. Heber and Marston tried negotiating a call with them, and we had something scheduled twice, and both times they pulled out. So no dialogue with them currently. In the future, maybe there could be. I don't know if they want that. I hear rumors that they don't. But yeah, their events maybe in the future could be a qualifier to the games, just like some of these other semifinals. At Robert Listow 7142. Dave, why is the Community Cup not being bracketed into age groups? Isn't this the only CrossFit competition that is not? Why? Thanks in advance. I'll probably still do it. I hope you still do it. The reason it's not broken into brackets this year is the work we did to change it, the season from last season, 4-stage season, into a 3-stage season with the Community Cup, was a large volume of work for our team. And that was one of the compromises to get to this level. One of the things we couldn't do at the time. Would definitely hope to see that in the future. We'll try to add those down the road. But for this year, with resources available, we weren't able to pull that off. At Ryan Sullivan 3. Hey Dave, love the olive oil. Thanks. TDC Mercantile. I sell extra virgin olive oil, locally sourced, and package and bottle and everything. I do everything, and then we ship it out. Anyway, sorry about that little rant. Hey Dave, love the olive oil. Also, I really appreciate the L1. Got mine for the first time way back in the day, before they even started administering a test. That was way back in the day. My son is 16 years old, and he traveled from Mississippi to do age group semis at Mayhem. He qualified for the team games. 16 years old, congrats. I've got a video of the moment he realized he qualified that you would love. It would probably mean a lot to you to see how much this thing you started means to several young folks like him. Let's make a deal. If you watch the video and it fires you up, will you get him a free admission to get his level 1 when he turns 17? He turns 17 on July 4th. Dave at CrossFit.com. Send me the email. And if it fires me up, I will give him a free spot to a level 1 when he turns 17 on July 4th. So we have a deal, Ryan. At 5, Steve Martin 67. Dave, would you please ensure that individual semifinals are reviewed to a meaningful degree? Brooke Wells' burpees and muscle ups are so obviously not too standard. It really devalues what we're trying to do here. Yes, the process is it's underway. The process to review all the videos, etc. At Andrew Sten 1623, hi Dave, if movement standards are generally static and don't change or rarely change, why does the process to qualify for the games keep changing? CrossFit is about holding standards, but constantly changes the process. Holding a standard process for several years would take a lot of stress off athletes, affiliates, and organizers, and HQ. Imagine not having to field so many questions about the process because it's been the same for multiple years and the kinks have been worked out, rather than doing a new process each year and having to figure it out all over again. So change usually happens to make something better or to evolve into a better expression. Prior than 18, we pretty much had a standard and well-defined way to qualify for the season. That was also incredibly cost inefficient. It cost a lot of money, and so Greg made the change and kind of tossed out the existing season and moved it in a different direction. Since then, there have been a lot of changes, and the most recent change, last year's 4-season format to this year's 4-stage season to this year's 3-stage season makes a lot more sense and is a platform to build off of, essentially to grow from. So I don't think you will see, as long as I'm involved, any radical changes to where we are now going forward. And when I say 4-stage season, here's what I'm talking about. The redundancy, especially for the age groups that existed in terms of, so online qualifier open, online quarterfinals, online semifinals, and then they go to the games. So there's 3 online competitions that they're doing to get to the games, and it's really redundant. You pretty much, the honest truth about all of this is you could probably do the open to the games and cut out everything else. That wouldn't be popular, but that is the truth of, and even back that out, you probably, if you really just wanted to find the fittest, have a 5 or 6 week open with no games. And you got to remember, many years or most years, when Tia wins the open, Tia would also win the games. So there you have, and Tia would also win any event in the middle. Same thing for Rich, same thing for Matt. So the truth, an argument could be made that by the open, you were finding out who was going to win the games already. But I agree, there shouldn't be many more. I won't even say there shouldn't be changes. There should be changes to make it better, and that's okay. We're also very young in the history of this sport. It's like 18, 19 years in. So change is okay. At Kemma, Kemaaa. Kale Layman thing needs to be dealt with. It is being dealt with, maybe not as quickly as you would all like, but we are dealing with it and we are addressing it. No more information than that at this point, but we are. At Corey Leonard 010. Dave, did I hear you right in saying there may be some in-person qualifying events for us aspiring masters athletes? That would be quite awesome. Yeah, and so basically that's what I'm saying about the season change. The model we use for the individuals is this 3-stage model: open, semifinals, you have an online one, and then you have in-person one, and then you have the games. The same thing can be done for the masters next year. So you have the open. This year we only had the online semifinal, and then you have the games. Next year, just like the individuals, there could be a handful, and there's already been interest from organizers in doing this for these guys and for the teams, of qualifying events that also get people to the games. So meaning, if there's 5 events next year that want to qualify age group people to the games, so we give them all, let's say 3 spots for each division, that reduces the number who can qualify online. And so there's multiple avenues to get there. So yes, it is a distinct possibility or outcome for next year. At Kurtz347, you being a Brooke Wells fanboy just does a disservice to online qualifying. So here's the deal. I'm not a fanboy of anyone. I'm not a fanboy of any of these athletes. I am friends with a large number of them. Maybe not a large number, a good number. I'm friends with Rich. I'm friends with Brooke. I'm friends with Danielle. But that friendship has nothing to do with how I view them as competitors. I don't view them as competitors. I'm not a fan of Brooke Wells, the competitive athletes. I'm friends with Brooke Wells, the CrossFit person, the person who I know through CrossFit. Once it comes down to the competitive side and the competition, I'm not even a fan of Rich Froning in terms of like him on the floor. I'm a friend of him. I'm a friend of his. I like Rich as a person and as a man. And so I am not a fanboy of any athletes. And those who know me know this well. Like, I do not get into cheering for or following their athletic pursuits at the games, or how they're placing, or even when I'm testing. I write about this in my Constructing the CrossFit Games that I'm working on right now. I talk about like when I'm creating all the workouts and doing this, I never think of an athlete. I'm never thinking of, oh, so-and-so is going to do really good at this, or this is designed for this person. I kind of start with just this ultimate expression of an athlete, an unnamed, not a real person, and just think, okay, this is what they're going to go through, and what's the extreme, if you had the most well-rounded athlete, what's the potential best time they can get, and what's the stimulus I'm looking for, what's the time domain, what's the movement combination, what am I trying to accomplish with this workout? Not which person is going to do really good at it, or I'm really excited about seeing so-and-so do it. So you being a Brooke Wells fanboy just does a disservice to online qualifying. I'm a friend of Brooke's, and I'm not a fanboy, and it has nothing, my friendship with her has nothing to do with the online qualifying or the outcome for whatever happens with that, whatever direction it goes via this online qualifying. That's it. That's the week in review. Leave your thoughts to comments. Oh, and I have a new Instagram not an Instagram. I have a new YouTube channel where I am posting dedicated shooting and outdoor and hunting content. So it's at TDC Hunts. I will put that in the link here. So if you want to go give it a follow, you can. I have like 2 videos posted, reviews. I reviewed a 6 Hour P322. And I reviewed a Kifaru pack that they sent me, and also have a bunch of shorts. So there's a bunch of shorts on there, and I'm enjoying that. I've got like 90 followers, so it's growing. But go check it out if you're interested in that type of content. All right, thanks a lot.